Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel, Pots and Petals, everything garden and allotment related here. So it's Friday evening, it's quite dull, it's cold, I've got a hoodie on. But I thought I'd pop down the allotment just to make sure that the polytunnel wasn't too dry. Apologies for the wind, it's another breezy day down here. But what I have noticed is everything seems to have gone wild. So we're out of May now, so the plan is I need to trim up here, make this all a bit neater and tidier. I need to mow the main grass path down here and also just tidy up along here. It is normally cut right back, but I thought this year I would let these areas go a little wild as well. But it's this area here which really has just popped into life. So if we start off here, you can see we have got loads and loads of poppy buds just waiting to burst. So I give that a couple of weeks and this will be full of the beautiful red Flander poppies. And along here we've got the Nepeta, which is going strong. I do need to split that next year because that has got a little bit too big for there, and I can plant some of that around the plot. And then the Love in the Mist, or Nigella, as it's also known, that's all now starting to bud up and flower. Now the main reason I grow them for are the seed heads, because they are stunning. They're like little paper lanterns. So we'll leave them to go to seed, but next year I probably do need to do a little bit more thinning out, because it is a Nigella forest we've got going on here. And then just below here you can now start to see the lavender now starting to form. So it won't be long before it starts to smell really beautiful down here, especially when I start to trim these areas and cut the grass. So that's all growing well. And then just in general we've just got all sorts of weeds growing. I've got a few teasel, elder, but we're just going to let that grow. This area is for the wildlife, so I'm not too fussed about the weeds. But everything is just manic. The forget-me-nots are now starting to go over, so they don't look as pretty as what they do a couple of months ago. But I'll let these all self-seed, so I'll leave them as they are. But what I will need to remove out is the poached eggplant in another month or so, because it does look unsightly. But then that will leave room for the marigolds that self-seeded and maybe some cosmos. So there's still plenty of more flowers to come. This is just the spring edition. Parsnip doing very well. But yeah, it's really kicked off over here. It's the first year that it's really filled out and I can't see any soil. I think it's about a 2-year garden, 2-3 years. And then just down here you can now see the Achilles starting to pop, and it won't be long before these 1, 2, 3 crocosmia start sending out their, I think they're red and yellow bell type flowers. They're one of my favourites, so keep an eye out for them. And then at the back we've got the green aconite, another weed, but I'm not too fussed about that. So yeah, apart from the grass needing a bit of a trim, I'm quite happy with how this area is looking, especially for the wildlife. Now another thing I'm concerned about is 2 weeks ago I sowed my climbing beans. Nothing except for this one tiny little seedling there, but that's been out for a week and it doesn't seem to be moving. So I think the plan is to re-sow my climbing beans at the weekend, because it's not just here, it's also in the bed over here. I don't seem to have any germination, so whether it's the seeds or they didn't get enough water. I'm not too sure. So I need to run and get some seeds at some point tomorrow and get these all sown up again. It might even be a little mouse or rat that's come along. So I will dig under, see if I can find any of the seeds, whether they've rotted or what. But yeah, it's not too late to be sowing your bean seeds, so I'm not too fussed. There's still plenty of time for them to grow. So that's another job I'll get done this weekend. And if you watched my last video, you'll know what nightmare I had with this hanging basket. But the bag itself seemed to have stayed on quite well. The plants inside are still growing. So overall, I think I might have saved it. But we know for next year that a t-shirt is not the right substitute for a liner. But hey ho, we live and we learn, don't we? Now, you might have remembered in my last video, I was waiting for my iris to flower. Hello, Mr. Crow. And I thought that this iris was yellow, but I've come down today and look at it. It's a beautiful purple violet iris, and we've got one bloom there. We've got another bloom just in the back there, and we've got a third one just there. Now I've counted, there's about 22 buds ready to pop. So I'm quite excited. For a second year, it really has put on a hell of a lot of growth and lots of flower stalks. And I'm just really excited about the colour, because I did think it was going to be a yellow one like the other. So yeah, no, I'm really chuffed with this iris. So a flag iris gets its name because they grow in quite shallow areas of water. And the idea was that if you saw the flag iris growing, you would know that it was shallow enough for you to be able to cross. So it flagged where you'd be able to cross part of the river. And that is why it's called a flag iris. Just look at all those buds that are just waiting to pop. So many of them just on this one iris. Another job for the weekend, as you can see. Just look at the weeds. I really suffer with bindweed in this area, and the field bindweed, which you'll see along here. It's just one of those things that I can't seem to get rid of. But you know, we dig down, we get the roots out, and it does slowly reduce the problem each year. But you really must keep on top of it, because look at it. So that's a job for this weekend, along with these beds just over here. So I'm going to be giving these a good weed. We've got some volunteer potatoes in here, but a lot of that is weeds. Same with down here. Just need to weed those out, ready for the squash when they do finally go in. And whilst we're talking of weeds, this is another bed I really need to focus on. Onions do not like to fight for survival. And we've got creeping thistle in here. We've got all sorts of little weeds, so I really need to get in here at the weekend and get rid of those to give the onions a bit more space. And then another area that I keep putting off is that back area. It's normally full of tulips in the springtime, but this time of year it is just full of grass. There's a few other plants in there, but you can't see them because of the grass. So again, that's a job for this weekend. And as you can see, the parsnips are huge. I'm guessing 7.5 to 8 feet tall. Some of them are now starting to fall over, so I will cut some of them back. But I quite like them. They're really tall, give a jungle feel, and I love that lime green with the yellow. It really pops. So yeah, you know what I think about my parsnips, and I'll be doing them again another year, just letting them go to seed. Another job I must do is I need to thin some of these out, because the carrots really have taken off this year. And then just at the back I just need to fill in some gaps with some more carrots, and then I will be sowing my second lot of carrots. So the best idea is to successionally sow, and all that means is just spreading out your sowings so that you don't end up with a glut of one crop all at once. So these have been in for about 6 weeks, so it's now time for us to do another couple of rows in another bed, so that will give us carrots later on in the season, and we'll do that one more time probably in July, August. So yeah, I definitely need to thin those out. And then every year I do the same, and I grow way too many radishes. So we've got quite a few radishes in here. So what I will do is I'll harvest some of these, and then we will sow some more, similar to the carrots. They only take 6 weeks to germinate, well, 6 weeks to actually eat. So these are a great crop to successionally sow. And then down here we've got the spring onions. So I'll find another bed to pop some more spring onions in. And then at the back, that is our feverfew, which was self-seeded. As you can see, it's a magnet for the green flies and the aphids. So there you go. And those ants right now are milking the aphids, which might sound strange, but they basically tickle the aphids and they give off this really sugary sap, which the ants then feed off. But as you can see, this is going to be absolutely covered in dainty little white flowers. So I reckon that will be in bloom for my June tour. And look what I found in here. These are the pine berries. So like I said, they're exactly like a strawberry, except from they're white. So we've already got a few of those coming along. And like I say, there's tons of flowers, so we should be due quite a bit of fruit. But they're not quite ready yet. We'll give it another month or so. But it is good to see that, you know, the fruit are starting to swell up. We've got another one there. Got some more just in there. You can see that one just at the back. So we should have another good year for the pine berries as well. So I've managed to find myself a good list of bits to get on with at the weekend. I will bring you guys along for the journey, so don't worry, there will be a couple of videos released. But today was just a pop down after work, take note of what needs to be done, so tomorrow I can come down and just crack on with it. It is going to be mainly tidying up, sowing a few seeds, and just getting it ready for the growing season. But that's all we've got time for today, folks. I hope you're all having a lovely end to the week, and you've got some plans for the weekend. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.